Last time, we talked about pitch. Today, we're going to talk about tone. If all musical instruments just produce sine waves, then presumably they would all sound exactly the same. But that's not the case. So something must be going on here. In an earlier episode, I spoke about the possibility of creating all sounds from a combination of sine waves. Let's take a look at those additional waveforms. If you take a string and fasten it at both ends, pull it tight, you've made a string instrument. If you pluck the string, it would basically move like this. Now, I know this doesn't look like the typical sine wave we talked about, but you can just think of it as the wave folded in half. So the frequency of this oscillation would be based on the time it takes the wave to go from the green middle line up to the top of its travel, or modulation, down to the bottom and back to the middle again. Let's call this 1 times f, where f is the basic frequency or fundamental frequency. This is also known as the first harmonic. Now, what would the waveform 1 octave up look like? It would have an additional crossing of the midline, or the zero crossing. Here's an illustration. The frequency of this wave would be twice that of the fundamental, or 2 times f. We call this the second harmonic. And here's where it gets really interesting. What happens if we look at 3 times f? We should probably get 1 more zero crossing. It's called, you guessed it, the third harmonic. Turns out that in the natural world, these harmonics are produced by pitched instruments in various degrees of loudness and duration, and that's what accounts for the different tones of different instruments, at least in the sustained part of the sound. There are other factors which figure into the difference in sound, such as how the signal is generated, like striking or blowing, but the harmonic structure is a big part of it. Let me demonstrate at the risk of considerable public embarrassment. If we can generate a sound that is rich in these additional harmonics and use the world's most sophisticated filter to block the higher order harmonics and slowly adjust this filter to reveal them, maybe this will all come into focus. Here goes. So the pitch didn't change, but the tone sure did.